My name is Matthias Schack-Arnott, and I'm a composer, percussionist and sound artist, and I make works that sit between performance and installation. For this project, I've been asked by Musica Viva to respond to John Cage's masterwork, the Sonatas and Interludes for prepared piano, and it will be a collaboration with Cédric Tiberghien. Cédric is an incredible pianist, one of the world's finest classical pianists, and he performs this piece really beautifully. So we're at the end of an initial creative development period where we've been testing materials and developing a very early stage prototype for the work. The work it's an incredible piece for prepared piano, and the prepared piano was an instrument form that John Cage developed himself, and involves inserting nuts and bolts into the strings of the piano to radically alter the character of the sound of the instrument. Interestingly, the effect that it has is that it becomes like a percussion ensemble within the piano. We are creating a sonic and sculptural response to the work in the form of a giant kinetic mobile that will sort of hover in this kind of dream space above the piano. It's almost like we're revisiting the work and adding an additional layer of preparations. So there are 45 prepared strings in the original work. We're adding another 45 sounds to the work that will take the form of this sculptural constellation of objects that hover above the piano. Each bucket represents one of the 45 objects. So the 45 objects are made up of different materials, so aluminium bars that are microtonally tuned to the piano, hardwood, timber, black granite, brass bell plates.
What my task is working out how to hit them. They're strung up on a structure that's floating above the piano up to 5 meters above the pianist, and we need to be able to strike those remotely, and it needs to be completely wireless because we can't have any cables or anything running between the materials because that would obstruct the lovely floating nature of the sculpture.
The work, it's 70 minutes in length, and it sort of has quite a meditative quality, but then is highly colourful as well. For the first 20 minutes, we're anticipating that the work will be performed as is, with this kinetic mobile sort of static, hovering above, and then it slowly starts moving and coming to life. We're using a disc clavier piano, so for all intents and purposes it functions as a regular prepared piano, so to speak, but we can take a MIDI feed from the piano so that gradually as the piece develops, his playing starts triggering these suspended objects until all 45 are engaged, creating this quite dreamlike additional layer of resonance and colour that is sort of also moving through the space. So the reason we decided to create this sort of almost like a mobile, this floating structure above the piano, is that one of Cage's collaborators and artists at the time was called Richard Lippold, and he was an artist who worked with wire kinetic sculptures, and actually two of the movements of the piece are dedicated to Richard Lippold. And at the time of writing the piece, Cage had some of his small wire sculptures suspended from the ceiling in his rooftop apartment. So this sort of combination of movement, dynamism, yet tranquility that a mobile has speaks to these elements in the piece.